Next up, at UFC Vegas 103, we have Danny Silva taking on Lucas Almeida. Danny Silva, 4-1 in his last 5, 9-1 in his career overall. He is on a nice 3-fight win streak. He's taking on Lucas Almeida, 15-3 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off that exciting win over Timmy Kwamba. And Lucas Almeida is a pretty fun guy to watch. He's a powerful striker. He likes to throw giant 1-2s. He'll come forward. He'll set up a big right hand. When he senses blood, he will literally drop his hands, march forward, and do whatever he needs to do.
We kind of look alike.
You and Lucas?
What do you think?
You don't look like either one of these gentlemen.
I think Chat would disagree with you.
Definitely not Danny, if that's where you're going with this. That's out of the question.
If Lucas had Danny's skin complexion, that would be me.
yeah, right there. Yeah, right there. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Well, Lucas Almeida will hunt for that finish. He's aware enough to know that he's a striker, not a grappler. There are times where he will knock people down or end up in a scramble, end up on top, and literally just back out entirely and be like, nope, back to our feet. Takedown defense, not great at 50%. It is the biggest hole in his game. But he is coming off the decision win over Timmy Kwamba, where the striking looked pretty good. Taking on Danny Silva. Danny Silva is also a striker. Good, clean technique, plenty of movement. He likes to invest in the body early for a late payoff. He does get hit a ton. He gets hit way more than he hits his opponents, and that's crazy because he hits his opponents with 8 significant strikes per minute, and he has somehow hit more than that. He doesn't have much in the way of offensive wrestling, but he does have decent takedown defense and a good get-up game. He's not amazing at anything, but he's a decent striker. He can wear you down, and he can go to a decision. He's coming off that close win over Josh Coulibaugh, where all of a sudden, he did get some wrestling going. It should be a fun fight. I didn't really know what to do coming into this just at its surface, and then I watched their last fights, and I was like, man, Danny just worked in takedown. Out of nowhere, this guy's working in takedowns. And so now I'm leaning Danny because he does have the other way to win. He gets hit an absolute ton. He has no striking defense whatsoever. But if he can get his hands going offensively, work in a takedown or two, all of a sudden Danny can win this fight. This is a super, super close fight, and these odds are absurd. I don't know why he's a minus 180. Lucas Almeida is definitely a decent fighter. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, Danny Silva. If you guys didn't know too, I forgot to mention this before the card that this is like my lock of it's cool that I'm going to this card to support Charles and Cody specifically, but there are 6 former lock of the week winners on this card, and Danny Silva is one of them. Charles Johnson, Danny Silva, William Gomez, Esteban Ribovics, Cheppy.
Who else? That's 2.
What are you doing?
I'm just organizing, man. Sorry.
See this when you move this mouse, there's a cursor on the screen that you'll see moving back and forth. Do you see it?
No.
Do you see the cursor on the screen? It's like a little arrow. It might be white or black. I don't know, depending on whatever. Get that cursor, and I want you to line it up. Do you see your cursor on the screen?
My cursor? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I want you to put that cursor, let me make sure this is, it should be all right. Put that cursor like in the top, like right here of your window. Like in this corner of your window. The
dots?
Yeah, just up in those windows. Just put it right there.
Okay.
Now I want you to drag it all the way straight down through the screen, all the way to the bottom. You're going to see a button. What does that say?
Mute?
It says mute. Okay. What you're going to want to do is when you drag that down, when you click that button, you're going to...
Oh, hello?
Now you can hear me again.
Oh, okay.
So when you press that button, can you press that button for me? It's going to turn red. There, see? Now I cannot hear you. So if you're doing stuff, you can press that button and then...
All right, cool. My bad.
Danny Silva, former lock of the week. I know him well. This dude is all gas, no brakes. I mean, that is just the way he fights. He's a really good boxer. I agree. He does probably get hit a little bit too much. A lot of it's that peekaboo, bobbing style, and he'll eat those jabs. But a lot of it is just eating shots to make the reads, to throw those combinations. Because, I mean, you see that with boxers all the time, right? They show up in front of you. They let you hit. So you're absorbing shots, but you're not really absorbing shots. Then he comes with the counters. Really nice, tight boxing. And that's what he's got to do, is put his head in the fucking chest of Lucas Almeida, because Lucas Almeida did show some decent striking in his last fight, but it was a lot of the rangy stuff, the basic, 1-2s, and he does throw a nice right hand down the middle, and if Danny Silva's not careful and he's walking in trying to bob and weave and walks that right hand, Lucas Almeida has shown he's got power. He can hurt pretty much anybody. He was hurting Timothy at will in that fight. I don't know how it wasn't stopped a couple times, but Danny Silva will eat shots. He does get hit, but if he just keeps his head in the fucking chest of Lucas Almeida, keeps that pressure, he's going to break him down. He's going to get the boxing exchanges. And in those boxing exchanges, he can have some success with the combinations. I would recommend him extending a combination. I think that's where he's probably going to find Lucas. And also, too, if he gets his head in his chest, he's right there. He can grapple. He's got good offensive takedowns and wrestling as well. That's honestly what won him the last fight. He's a smart guy. He was losing the striking against Kulibao, went to the wrestling, was able to find that I think it was a split decision win. But he definitely won that fight. I mean, he was lock of the week, so there was no question he was going to fucking lose that fight. So he will go to the wrestling if he needs to. I don't know if he's going to need it. I think if he just stays in the chest, he can outbox this guy, wear him down, and find a finish in the second or third round, because he really does not fucking stop. So I like Danny Silva.
And you're not, I mean, you talked about it quickly, but you're not worried about just how often that dude gets hit?
I said he gets a lot of it's just, I mean, they count it as strikes, but he shells up pretty well.
This should be a fun fight, though. I'm looking forward to it. One of the more exciting ones on the card for sure. And these odds flew. -110, -110. It opened up even, similar to how I looked at it at first. I ultimately went ahead and picked Danny because I was like,
-220 now.
Yeah, so it's flying. We have, I mean, this is like a theme, and maybe we should talk about it at some point, but these actually all of 2025, we're seeing mid-level favorites turn into giant favorites. Like, odds on all of these cards are flying. And I don't know if it's just more and more people are betting and they're just sort of leaning on favorites or what, but we're seeing people on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, decent odds come Friday, Saturday, Sunday, not Sunday, but Friday, Saturday, -600 out of nowhere. You have a theory? Just more people betting?
I had a sneeze. I got caught. And it, do you like that feeling? Sometimes that can be like have an orgasmic feeling. Like when you're about that.
Well, you try to force it and it disappears is when it's weird. You're like,
yeah, you're like,
nothing. Okay. All right. This got weird fast. All right. Hands up. Hands above the table. We're both on the Danny Silva side. $8,600 in DraftKings Fantasy for Danny Silva. And if he dominates this fight, that's obviously well worth the money, especially if he works in some takedowns. But this is a back-and-forth striking match. He may not be worth that salary. I'm a little bit on the fence there. I understand the Danny Silva side. I understand Jacob's point where he's a dog. He's going to move forward. He's not going anywhere. But Lucas Almeida is definitely decent as well. So I'm probably going to fade this as far as DraftKings Fantasy is concerned. Both of us picked Danny Silva. And if you do want to see where we do have bets.
Wait, you picked Danny Silva?
Yes. What the hell's wrong with you?
I mean, he spent the whole breakdown talking about how he just gets lit up and Lucas looked great this last fight.
He does get lit up. And then I said, I just watched Danny Silva get 4 takedowns in his last fight. So now he has a backup plan when he's getting lit up. And Lucas Almeida's takedown defense sucks. That was the whole theme. Anyway, if you want to check out not only the picks and bets, but also the artificial intelligence, which just went 10-2 last weekend. You want to check out the DraftKings Optimizer, the Fight Simulator, which is a tool that will simulate fights 100,000 times. Yes, Sam. What happened when you and I were heads up on Austin Landford? Moron.
Yeah.
Dumbass.
Yeah.
Get him.
Going. Yeah. Light him up. Light his ass up.
Kiwi.
Angelo. Yeah.
Chunk.
Ooh. Don't do it to him now. Don't you do it to him. Don't do it to him.
Window licker.
What?
A window licker? Like the dumb kid in the back
Angelo,
of like
I mean, some kids have disabilities in that. I mean, that is nothing. to make fun of.
All right, well, there you go, Sam. There's your reprieve. Hey, become a premium member. It's $10. The greatest value in this space. It's undeniable. There's nothing on this planet that even resembles what we do, let alone for $10. And that's not an exaggeration. WeOwnPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. We have a bunch of super chats. $4.99 from Chris Bigelow. Put $50 on Jacob's parlay of the week. I got faith in Charles Johnson for real. Thank you, Dan. I think he's talking about your underdog, the former lock of the week parlay. We appreciate you, Chris. $1.99 from B Willie 72. Jacob low-key scared. AJ would be a lock.
That little guy.
Hey, he fought that dude that one time. Remember he showed up on a stream and his eye was like swollen shut. And I like AJ. This is coming from a place of I like AJ. We've talked about I like AJ. But he showed up on a stream one time with his eyes swollen shut.
I fought a trained professional, walked out there with a little blood on my lip, and that was it.
And the whole narrative from AJ was literally, you should have seen the other guy. Like that was literally it, which is just so funny. Yeah, I've smoked Jacob. $5 from Enema. Is that really Enema? Am I reading that right? Underdog got my drunk ass in the streets of St. Louis on Sunday for a $500 deposit. She was bad. Former lock of the week lineup. Who kills it? Does he mean who blows it? Well, Jacob's not going to tell you that. He believes in them all.
She was bad.
Underdog got my
drunk ass in the streets of St. Louis.
This is very hard to follow.
A $500 deposit. She was bad. Is that? You're eating some sort of fucking cake or something. What the fuck?
Okay.
Is that a Butterfinger?
Not eating.
What the fuck are you eating? And it went on the floor and you didn't, I mean, there wasn't a second thought about, ooh, my feet are down there all day. The dog lays down there. The dog shits in the yard, runs around, steps and shit. There was not 1 second of thought that maybe I should leave this. Maybe I should leave this alone. It was that. We all got to know now.
I'm not eating anything. I'm just enjoying my time with my friend. That's what I'm doing here.
Angelo has a problem. I agree. I think he does.